What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? How are ya? Now, today is October the 8th, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comments section below. But we're going to start off here in Washington, D.C., and we will finish up in New York City. Our first vendor of the video is going to be the Base of Ops vendor. Here we go.
Pleasure to see you.
And starting off at the top, we have the Backbone. This is the named Lingmo backpack with health, skill damage, and perfectly unstoppable force. I'm really not a fan of those attributes for this backpack. I would definitely skip it. However, if you do not have this fully proficient, pick this one up and donate duplicates. That way you can get this item fully proficient without ever using it, and then you can expertise upgrade your other items. Going to the weapons, we have a police UMP with crit hit damage and breadbasket, followed by an ACR with nearsighted and armor damage. Nice. And finally a D50 with armor damage and ranger. Looking at the gear items, we have a Badger Tough backpack with max armor status, crit hit damage, and clutch. That's a nice backpack. I just am not a big fan of clutch, but definitely pick that one up and change the talent to whatever it is you want. And finally, for the gear items, we have a Bellstone Armory chest piece with crit chance, hazard, and gunslinger. Looking at the mods, we have headshot damage 7.6, drone scan range 7.9, turret health 7.3, and sticky bomb damage of 6.3. Now, must-buys, things to look for at the Base of Ops vendor. Any must-buys here? The ACR with armor damage isn't bad. I would just change the talent to whatever it is you want. And remember, the ACR is getting a nice little bump in the next update. I would say the D50, but the D50 is sadly getting a big nerf in the next update, so I probably would stay away from that. And finally, honorable mention would be the Badger Tough backpack. Just change the talent, maybe Wicked or something like that. Put it with the status effects. I don't know. Up to you. But all right, that is it for the Base of Ops vendor. Let's jump over here to the Countdown and Clan vendors. And starting with the Countdown vendor, here we go. So our three named items from the Countdown vendor this week, we have the Artist Tool. This is the named rifle with Perfect Rifleman, and it also comes with magazine size. Following that, we have a Habsburg Guard chess piece, the Cherished. This one with Perfect Trauma, health, and weapon handling. Not bad for Cherished. And the Manic. The Manic is the named AKM with perfect overflowing. And then this one with swap speed. Not really good. As far as these three named items, I don't really like any of them, to be honest with you. So I'm going to pass. And let's run over here to the clan vendor. Hey, and shout out to the DoD Disciples of Doom. We are on all platforms. And if you are interested in joining the clan, just make sure to join me on my Discord server. There are tabs within that Discord server to put your name in the pot for the clan, whether you're on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox. There's a different tab for each of them. But speaking of which, here is your clan vendor. Starting with the Surge. This is the named LVOAC with perfect spike, and this one with optimal range. Looking at the gear items, gear set items, we have a True Patriot mask with skill haste, Aegis holster with crit hit damage. Not bad, but a really bad gear set. I don't know. It's not bad. And then Future Initiative gloves with hazard protection. Looking at the high-end items, we have a Vector 45 with magazine size and unwavering. There you go. A D50 with max pistol damage, optimal range, and reformation. A Black Market M60 with strained and headshot. Not bad. Strained on an M60 would be dirty. Just change the headshot to armor damage. That would be nice. 1886 with reload speed and rifleman. An AUG SMG with max SMG damage, health damage, and stabilize. Looking at the gear items, we have a Palisade Steelworks pair of gloves with health and explosive resistance, and an Overlord Armaments mask with crit hit damage and health. Looking at the mods, we have crit chance 4.9, shock resistance 8.9, Seeker Mine health 6.7, and Hive +4 Stinger charges. Looking at the must-buys, things to look for from the clan vendor. From the clan vendor, I really would not recommend any of these. Okay. Moving on. So the first 3 vendors were really not that great. So hopefully we get some better luck over here. We're going to travel to the west, and then we will double back east. Our first stop is going to be here at the campus settlement. Now, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, and make sure you ring that notification bell because we do post Division videos every single day. And here we go. Campus vendor. Starting with the Commando. This is the named SVD with Perfectly Naked, and it comes with health damage. Following that, we have a Surplus SVD with Rate of Fire and Perpetuation, a Black Market M60 with Max Crit Hit Damage and Eyeless. For the gear items, we have a Fenris Mask. Ooh, nice. Pick up this Fenris Mask right now. Change the Skill Haste off for crit hit damage. Have a double crit Fenris Mask. This is perfect. Put it in your stash whenever you're done recalibrating it and optimizing it, and whenever you need it, you will have it right there for your next build. This is a really good one, especially for those AR builds. And then finally, for the gear items, we have a Richter and Kaiser holster with armor regeneration and health. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.4, chem launcher heals 5.9, hive duration 4.2, pulse effect duration 8.9, and trap duration of 4.3. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the campus. I would say the Fenris Mask, you can make it double crit, you can make it crit chance headshot, you can make it crit chance armor regen, whatever it is, you're good to go. And that is it for the campus. Now it's time to hit up our Dark Zone vendors. Starting with Dark Zone West. West! Let's go. And just a reminder for all of your Dark Zone vendors, they do take DZ resources as currency. So go to your inventory, toggle over to your resources tab, and just above your keys, you will see your Dark Zone resources. And for example, you can see right here, I'm at 667 out of 999. So I have enough resources to buy a few things, but if I need more, I have to go into the Dark Zone and either open up those little blue boxes, or I have to deconstruct contaminated items into DZ resources and then extract it. So either way, that's how you get your DZ resources, and that is the only currency that these DZ vendors take. Speaking of which, here is your first DZ vendor, DZ West.
Anything you're looking for?
Oh, snap! And we have must-buy Emperor's Guard knee pads. Wow. Change the skill tier to an armor core. You have armor regeneration hazard. Perfect for a hazard regen build. You would be unkillable. Very cool. Nice. Emperor's Guard knee pads are PvP exclusive items, meaning you can only get them in the Dark Zone, Conflict, or a named item cache. Luckily, we have one right here at the DZ vendor, which technically counts as the Dark Zone. So there you go. Boom. Pick these up right now, DZ West. Moving on, we have a Tactical Super 90 with magazine size and eyeless, a SIG with rifleman and magazine size. Looking at the gear items, we have a Breaking Point pair of gloves with skill damage, Tip of the Spear knee pads with health, Habsburg Guard gloves with health and weapon handling, and finally, Fenris knee pads with weapon handling and skill damage. Looking at the mods, we have Disorient Resistance 8.6, Seeker Mine Skill Haste 4.9, Shield Health 4.1, Firefly Blind Effect Duration 5.9, and Decoy Duration of 6.0. But the must-buy from here, DZ West, is going to be the Emperor's Guard knee pads. Armor regen hazard builds are really strong, especially if you can get something that hits hard like the Ouroboros or like a shotgun, and then just run around with a tank build that will never die. I mean, come on. That sounds amazing. All right. So that's it for DZ West. Let's take our talents down south to the DZ South. Here we go. Oh boy, we going down south, boy, the deep south. Oh man, come on. DZ South. All right, big money, no whammies.
It's not worth having.
Ooh, that's another one that people love for some reason. The Ferocious Calm. Let's look at these attributes. Status and hazard. It's really not that great. I'm not a fan of those attributes, to be honest with you. I would not recommend this, but it is a PvP exclusive item, so let's talk about it. The Ferocious Calm. This is PvP exclusive, meaning you can only get in the Dark Zone, Conflict, or a named item cache. This used to be Perfect Berserk way back in year 1. However, from year 2 to now, they changed it to Perfect Overwatch. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of being in cover, but you have to be in cover for this thing to even work. And with it being with status and hazard, I'm not even sure if that really goes with it. So that's why I'm not going to recommend it. However, it is a PvP exclusive item. It is rare. So if you don't have one, you could easily pick this one up. Looking at the weapons, we have a M1928 with max headshot and close personal, a military P416 with stability and reformation, and a military M9 with rate of fire and lucky shot. Looking at the gear items, we have a Umbra backpack with skill haste, breaking point chest piece with weapon handling, Bellstone backpack with hazard, crit damage, and concussion, and finally a Empress International chest piece with explosive resistance, health, and spotter. Looking at the mods, we have crit hit damage 10.1, drone damage reduction 5.0, turret health 7.4, and sticky bomb skill haste of 4.3. Now, must buys things to look for from DZ South. The Ferocious Calm is a rare item, and that's really it from DZ South. All right. Now, before we get to DZ East, let's travel over to the castle settlement. And remember, I go to the descent entrance at the castle. That way I don't have to run all the way through the settlement. And then you can just run up the stairs right here, pet the dog, and then turn around and hit the vendor. What up, Ransom? All right, pet the dog. Wag her tail. Aw, nice. Look at that. Don't we all feel a little bit better now? Aw, man's best friend, right? All right, Ransom. I'll see you later.
I know about you, but sometimes it's not.
And for the castle settlement, before the music starts to blare out our eardrums, let's jump over here to the vendor. Castle settlement. All right, starting with the Brutus. This is the named marksman rifle with perfect behind you. And this one with stability. Not the best, but whatever. Next, we have the Relic. This is another named marksman rifle. This one with perfect determined and rate of fire. The attributes are, they're okay enough to where you could change the rate of fire off for damage to targets out of cover, and you'd be good to go. The Relic is really fun to use, especially spamming those headshots and getting all those kills. And then finally for the weapons, we have a custom L86 with max headshot and steady-handed. Looking at the gear items, we have a Uzina mask with hazard and max skill damage, and an Alps holster with skill damage and status effects. Looking at the mods, we have repair skills 16.6, chem launcher duration 4.1, hive damage 4.3, pulse cone size 6.3, and trap duration of 5.9. Now, must buys things to look for from the castle settlement. There's really no like must buys, but again, for these named items, if you do not have them fully proficient, just go ahead and pick these up and donate the duplicates and get them fully proficient without ever using them. It's the easiest way to get your expertise up. And that is it for the castle. Let's jump over to DZ East. And what I'm going to do is go to the Alpha checkpoint. I don't go to the main entrance. Go to the Alpha checkpoint. And that way, all you have to do is exit the checkpoint, and the vendor is right here. Look at that. No double screen, nothing. Look at that. Hey. And instead, you would have to go all the way out there to the main entrance and then run all the way through. But all right, here we go. DZ East.
Want to make a deal?
Starting with the Commando. This is the named SVD with perfectly naked, and this one with magazine size. Following that, we have a SOCOM MK20 with max headshot stability and steady-handed. and then a tactical M249 with reload and frenzy. Looking at the gear items, we have a Eclipse mask with health, Aces and Eights holster with skill damage, Golem gear mask with health and status effects, and finally a Overlord holster with weapon handling and health. Look at the mods. We have Skill Haste 9.9, Chem Launcher Heals 6.1, Hive Health 7.9, Pulse Health 14.3, and Trap Duration of 6.1. Now, must-buys, things to look for from DZ East. Not really. I would not recommend any of those.
Detected. Nearby location.
And finally, for the DC vendors, we have the theater. The theater. Let's go to the theater. All right, here we go. Hopefully we get something good from this guy. Come on, big money, no whammies.
Ready to make a
Contractor's gloves. Look at that. With armor regeneration, so you could just put the weapon damage to an armor core and have a tanky armor regen build. Nice, nice. There you go. That's best in slot for gloves, always. You can see I have them on my character right this second. I will forever have contractor gloves on because of the damage to armor. It's so strong. It's really, really good. So pick these up if you don't have them. Contractor's gloves at the theater. All you have to do is recalibrate the armor regeneration off for whatever it is you want. You're good to go. Or if you want this with an armor regen build, just change the weapon damage to an armor core, and then you're good to go. Either way, you will have to optimize a little bit, so just remember that. But contractor's gloves, right there and there. Nice. Next, we have a 612 reload speed and fast hands, a military MK17 with swap speed and behind you. For the gear items, we have a Hanayu pair of gloves with status and health. And then finally, Heligod, knee pads with status and headshot. Looking at the mods, we have incoming repairs 16.6, Seeker Mine damage 4.3, shield damage bonus 1%, Firefly blind effect duration 5.9, and decoy duration of 6.0. Now, must-buys, things to look for from the theater. The contractor's gloves all day, day.
Thanks for the deal.
Day, don't care what anybody says. Because the contractor's gloves are best in slot. And, well, dear agents, that will now leave us with our final two vendors in the Haven settlement. So we have Marco here at the top of the escalator, and then we have Roy Benitez just outside. Here we go. Marco. And starting with the M1928 with headshot and fast hands. Then we have a SOCOM MK20 with stability and spike. M1A CQB with reload and determined. Nice. Remember, the M1A CQB will be fully auto next update. They are changing it to fully auto. So it's a good one. But with determined, I don't know. Probably not. And then finally for the weapons, we have a PX4 Storm Type F with magazine size and steady-handed. Looking at the gear items, we have a Providence backpack with skill damage, weapon handling, and clutch. Empress International knee pads with status and repair skills. And then finally, 511 holster, explosive resistance, and weapon handling. Looking at the mods, we have crit chance 4.5, disrupt resistance 8.5, turret damage 4.3, firefly blind effect duration 5.9, and sticky bomb burn duration of 4.0. Now, must-buys, things to look for from Marco. Man, I would say the Empress knee pads and then change the repair skills to skill damage, but Empress International's getting a nerf next update, so I might not actually be using the Empress International after that. We'll see. We will see. But before Roy Benitez, make sure you pet the dog twice. The first interaction, it's just, you're just petting the dog, you know, getting those serotonin levels. But the next one's random. So he could shake your hand, he could roll over, he could just bark at you. Let's see what he does. All right, second interaction. What are you going to do this week? Oh, he rolled over. Look at him. Nice. All right, and Roy Benitez.
Hey, agent.
Starting with the enhanced AUG with magazine size and optimist. Then we have a classic M44 with accuracy and close and personal. A military MK17 with rifleman and rate of fire. And finally, a tactical M1911 with lucky shot and crit hit damage. Looking at the gear items, we have a Richter and Kaiser backpack with Adrenaline Rush, skill damage, and status. Hanayu pair of gloves with weapon handling and headshot. And finally, Sokolov Concern mask with weapon handling and armor regeneration. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.5, crit hit damage 10.0, turret duration 5.7, pulse radius 8.7, and finally, trap duration of 4.1. And that is it, everyone. For Roy Benitez, I really would not recommend any of these. So yeah, that is your weekly vendor reset and must buys for today, October the 8th. I am Kamikazevondoom. If you found this helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.